Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeri Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyaptadehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Shri Harim Paramanandam Upadeshtaramishwaram Vyapakam Sarvalokanam Karanam tam namamyaham. Aparokṣānubhūtirvai Prochyate moksha siddhaye Sadbhireva prayatnena Vikshaniya muhurmuhu. Verse 81. Sukshmatve sarvabhavanam Sthulatvam chopanetratah Tadvadatmani dehatvam Pasyatyajnana yogatah Kacha bhumau jalatvam va Jalabhumau hi kachata Tadvadatmani dehatvam Pasyatyajnana yogatah. So Ajnana Yogata, because of ignorance, Kacha Bhumo Jalatvam va. What is Kacha Bhumi? A floor that is made of glass. Jalatvam va, on account of ignorance of what it is, one sees what is not there, namely Jalatvam. Sees water where it is not. Jalabhumo hi kachata. So not recognizing, knowing that this is water, he sees the kachata, he sees that this is glass. Meaning that what is fluid, he sees as solid, and what is solid, he says fluid, liquid. So this is typical ignorance, not knowing what it is. We take it to be different from what is aviveka, superimposition. Tada atma dehatvam pashyati ajñāt. Similarly, because of ignorance, one sees the atmani dehatvam. The atma has attained the body. Dehatvam. Atma is body. So dehatvam means state of being the body. The one sees the atma as the body. Not knowing the atma, one sees atma as the body. Continuing the other examples. Yadvadagnau manitvam he Manau vavannita puman Tadvadatmani dehatvam Pashyatya jnana yogatah. So sometimes when there is a spark, looks like there is a red stone, one sees a jewel. Spark is shining, jewel also shines. Sometimes just a spark or a little ember. A small little ember is shining. And one thinks that, hey, this is a jewel. On the other hand, jewel also shines. One thinks this is ember. Because they look similar and they will not recognize what it is, how one confuses that one for the other. Tadvadatmani. Similarly also, one sees Atma as the body because of ignorance. Again, next verse. Abreshu satsudhavatsu somo dhavati bhati vai Tadvadatmani dehatvam Pashyatya jnana yogatah. Abreshu, the clouds. Abreshu satsudhavatsu. Which case is this? Saptami. What kind of Saptami? Sati Saptami. How? And there is Satsu also, of course. Abre, there is the Saptami of Sat also is there. But need not be. Abreshu satsudhavatsu. When the clouds are running, somo dhavati bhati vai, the moon appears to be running. That is not unusual at all. Even we can get confused that when the moon is shining in the sky and the clouds are running, it looks like the moon is running the other way. Like when you are traveling the train, the pillars seem to be going in the other direction. Similarly, so this example is quoted in Atma Bodha also. Vyaprate shvendreshvatma vyapariva vivekinam drishyase bhretsudhavatsu drishyate bhreshudhavatsu dhavannivesasashi. So just as one sees that the moon is running, whereas in fact the clouds are running, so also sense organs are all performing activities. Vyaprateshu indriyeshu. Organs of action, organs of perception, they are performing various activities. Atma, Vyapari, as Atma is performing all these activities. Eyes are seeing, I say I see. Ears are hearing, I say I am hearing. So action that is actually performed, at the level of sense organs, ignorant person thinks that Atma is doing. I am doing what Atma is doing. So what happens in one place is superimposed upon the other. Similarly also, the motion of the clouds is superimposed upon the moon. That's ignorance. Similarly also, one sees the body as the Atma. And finally, not finally, but there's some more. Yasaiva digviparyasaha mohat bhavati kasyachit tadvadatmani dehatvam pashyatya jnana yogatah. Digviparyasaha, digbhrama, the confusion about the direction. Sometimes there is a confusion about, not confusion, delusion about direction. Where one direction is taken to be other direction. If I am not sure, then I may ask, but here, when one direction is taken to be other direction. So in the United States, when you ask, so which go east? No, what is east? So go east and west, and that's how they talk about. Here they always say right and left and something. Right and left, also people confused. Sometimes you tell driver take right, he makes a left. So simplify, say, take it on your side and drive on the passenger side. So simple. Because people get confused with right and left. What is right? You have to think about it. Before that turn is already taken. So how there is often not confusion, but the wrong notion about the direction. But one direction is, because when the clouds are there and the sun is not seen, then you just don't know what is what. And one direction can be mistaken for the other. Similarly also, the Atma is mistaken to be Deha. Deha is mistaken to be Atma. And finally, next one. Yatha shashi jale bhati chanchalatvena kasyachite tadvadatmani dehatvam pasyatyajnana yogatah. Also standard examples. Yatha shashi jale bhati chanchalatvena kasyachit. For someone, shashi chanchalatvena bhati. The moon seems to be unsteady. What is unsteady is water. But then the moon that is reflected in water, to the one who doesn't have the viveka, the discrimination between the nature of water and nature of moon is not known to him. So whereas the water is shaking, one thinks that the moon is shaking because of ignorance, that moon is ever steady. Similarly, the body is taken to be Atma. So all this tika ka yatha vruksheti shlokam sfudartha pishtapeshanam tulyatvena na vyakhyanam kritam. He was a pishtapeshanam. What is pishtam, What is ground? Peshanam, grinding the ground. So like you have that grinding mill at home, grinding stone. So you ground and then you do it again. So what is ground is called pishta. Pishta peshanam, grinding what is ground. Meaning, doing something for, it doesn't serve any purpose. So pishta peshanam tulyatvena. So many examples are given which do not convey anything new. And there was no vyakhyanam kritam. We are not saw the need, we have not seen the need of giving any kind of explanation. So yatha shashi iti upalakshanam suryadena api. Just as the moon appears to be unsteady in the water, sun also can appear unsteady, or any image that reflects in water can appear unsteady. That's the idea. Evam dvadashavi shloka yuktamartha upasamharati. So what is said in 12 verses is now concluded by the author. Evam iti. Verse 87. Evamatmanya vidyataha dehadhyaso hi jayate sevatma parigñānād liyate ca paratmani. Evam atmani dehadhyaso hi jayate. Evam in this manner. Avidyataha, fifth case. So on account of ignorance, atmani dehadhyaso hi jayate. Adhyas means superimposition. Dehadhyasa, superimposition upon the body. So dehadhyasa, in this manner, the idea of the self of the body takes place and the body is taken to be Atma. Because of what? Ajñānata. Because of ignorance. So in all the earlier cases it was shown how there is an ignorance which is merely absence of knowledge, but there is an ignorance which creates wrong knowledge. So all the previous examples were of ignorance where the viparita buddhi or false knowledge is created. So that is the kind of ignorance. So it is important to explain the nature of ignorance. So in what sense does Vedanta use the word ignorance? So Vedanta would explain, ignorance has twofold power, avarana and viksheva. We already went through that. Veiling the true nature of something and projecting what is not there. Just as in the rope snake example, number one, ignorance, avaranam, not knowing the rope as rope. Viksheba, projection, projecting snake where there is rope. It's that kind of ignorance we are talking about. Not just ignorance, but ignorance that results into projection, a superimposition. So here also there is superimposition of body upon the Atma, Atma upon the body. Meaning Atma is taken to be body and body is taken to be Atma. So mutual superimposition. Ukta puktena prakarena avidyatah atma jnanat dehadhyasah. That identification of the body happens because of the ignorance of the self. So this is the basic problem. Not only that we are ignorant of the true nature of the self, we are also born with this habit of identifying with the body. It's a habit. Nisargikoyam loka vyavahara. This is going on from the time beginningless. Ignorance has no beginning, and therefore this adhyasa, a superimposition, or the habit of identifying the body also is beginningless. Meaning that we are born with the habit of, that's called vasana. Born with the vasana or the habit of identifying the body, taking body to be the self, and taking body alone as the self. If body is the self, then consciousness also is self, then it's okay. But here, just as the earlier example, somebody thinks that looking at the pot, he thinks that this is clay. So taking pot to be clay means what? Thinking that clay is only this, confined to this alone is clay. Whereas clay is in all the pots and pans and pervades itself over all these vessels. Taking one thing to be clay, so taking one body to be Atma, which is supposed to be all pervasive, is called adhyasa or superimposition. And so ignorance is avaranam, and adhyasa is superimposition, avaranam and viksheba. So manushya mityadi buddhi jayate. So thus the ignorant person is born with this notion, I am human being. As an example. From there all kinds of notions come. Then I am man, I am woman, I am tall, I am short, I am fair, I am dark, etc., etc. These are the notions on account of identification of the gross body. But body also includes the subtle body. The mind, sense organs, mind, intellect, therefore kartrutvam, bhoktrutvam, sense of doership, experience, enjoy, all of this comes. All of this they call dehadhyasa. The notions arising from taking the body to be the self. The notions arising from gross body to be the self is one kind of notions. And notions arising from taking the subtle body to be Atma is another kind of notions. There are countless notions. They will deal with all these. How do you get rid of this one by one by one? They will to facilitate the getting rid of these notions. So Vedanta gives also a method. It's called Panchakosha Viveka. All these notions or conclusions or complexes can be classified into 5 categories. Because the origin of every notion or complex is identification. I am so and so. So this personality is looked upon as consisting of 5 layers, and identifying with each layer creates a whole class of complexes. So this body is first layer, and calling the body as I creates its own kind of countless complexes. The prana vital is the other layer. Mind is the third layer. Intellect is the fourth layer. And then the bliss is the fifth layer. And thus, all the notions are classified. So you can deal with a whole class of notions, not individually. But this is called viparyasa or viparyaya, viparita buddhi, the false notion, false perception about the self. Dehadhyaso hi jayate, he means prasiddhi, something very well known. No, etasya nivritti kuto bhavet. All right. Now that we are stuck with this, there is no choice. We are born with this identification of the gross and subtle body. That's a given thing. Like many things are given, as Swami says, body is given, but he doesn't say ignorance also is given. Ignorance also is given, and all complexes arising from ignorance also are given, unfortunately. So, etasya nivritti kuto bhavet. How do we get rid of all this dehata buddhi? Dehadhyasa. I am so and so. That's called ahankara. Ahankara is a notion that arises on account of identification with the body, mind, sense complex. Tasya nivritti. How can we get rid of this? Atmajnana. The reason why there is such a elaborate discussion is to establish that all these notions are arising from ignorance. There is no cause other than ignorance. No cause other than ignorance to take the rope, a snake, etc. In all the examples that are given, the false perception is only created from ignorance. No other reason. Similarly, the false perception, the complexes about the self also are created merely from ignorance. That's the important point. So why is that point made so many times? Because ignorance can be dispelled by knowledge. So when the cause is now diagnosed, then you know what the treatment is. So in all these verses it is established that it is ignorance of self which is the cause of samsara. So Atma Jnana Deva, since ignorance is the cause ever, knowledge of self is the means by which all of this can be removed. Samsara can be removed. So second line of the verse said, Sevatma Parijnanat Liyate Cha Paratmani. If Atma Parijnanat, Paritha Jnanat, knowing the Atma from all sides, Jnanat Parijnanat. Jnanam is knowledge. Parijnanat, knowing it from all sides. So Atma Parijnanat, by the true knowledge of the Atma. Brahmatmaikya Sakshatkarat. What is the true knowledge of Atma? Recognizing Atma, the self, as Brahman, as non-dual, as limitless, as complete, as whole, as ever free. This is called Parijnana. You know from all sides, ever free, ever complete, ever limitless, one, non-dual. By that, liyate. So this adhyasa, the adhyasa means superimposition, which is a product of ignorance. So when ignorance goes, then the effects of ignorance also go. So when the ignorance of rope goes away, then this is a rope and that knowledge is there. Then the projection of snake goes away and all the fears cause, everything goes away. So now the knowledge has taken place. Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman, I am non-dual. So now what about that one? Now there's another problem. So this thought, I am Brahman, does it persist? So the knowledge has taken place that I am Brahman. So what about that thought, I am Brahman? Does it persist? If it persists, then it also becomes reality. What persists? So then what happens with this knowledge, I am Brahman? Does it remain? So says, liyate cha paratmani. Even that one also merges into Paramatma. Having done its job, that also then resolves. Thank God. Otherwise you will be stuck with I am Brahman, I am Brahman, I am Brahman. So that is like a record, in the olden days it gets stuck. So it keeps repeating. So does my mind keep on, is stuck with this I am Brahman, I am Brahman, I am. No. Then you can't do anything else. Then you deal with that thing. How do you deal with that? He says, having done its job, that also resolves in Paramatma. Katakarayanuvata, jalam katakarayanuvata. So again, Atma Buddha gave this example. How? Kataka means the this powder, the alum powder. Okay. So when you sprinkle in water, it coagulates all the fatakati. It coagulates all the dirt in the water. And then sits down itself. Otherwise, what happens? That one dirt is gone. This alum powder remains. That is another dirt. Then you add something else. That goes and the other fellow remains. So how do you get rid of this dirt? Thank God, this alum powder, it coagulates all the dirt and settles down along with the dirt. Similarly, this knowledge, I am Brahman, I am Brahman, I am Brahman, I am Brahman. No doubt, you keep on repeating for a period of time. Jnana-abhyasad vinirmalam krutva. So, jnana-abhyasad vinirmalam krutva. This is called jnana-abhyasa. Repeating. Because there is a strong vasana of I am the body. Therefore, even this knowledge that I am Brahman has to be repeated again and again and again to create a new vasana that I am Brahman, such that it displaces the old vasana that I am body. Then it's called abiding knowledge. So, jnana abhyasad vinirmalam krutva agnyana kalusham jivam jnana abhyasad vinirmalam krutva swayam nashet jalam katakarayanavat. So, this jiva atma has become impure because of ignorance. This knowledge, what is ignorance? I am the body. This knowledge, I am Brahman, I am Brahman. Abhyasad, by creating this new vasana or new habit, removes the old habit of I am the body. And swam nashet, itself then, because it's done its purpose. Jalam katakarayanavat. Like the element powder in the water. See, this we experience sometimes when you have some kind of in the dream, a nightmare for some reason. Suppose you wake up, even a child wakes up with a nightmare, then in spite of waking up, because the effect of the nightmare still remains. Then you have to console it. No, you are awake. See, this is dad, this is mom, the host is not there. And finally, when it dawns on that I am quite awake, then otherwise I'm awake. You repeat, I'm awake, I'm awake, I'm awake. Until you get established in wakefulness, then once you establish, because wakefulness is your nature, therefore that vritti goes away. Because Brahman is my nature, therefore the vritti I am Brahman also resolves. Therefore, liyate cha paratma. All remains is paratma. Even jnana vritti also does not remain. What remains is paratma. Tasmat atma jnana deva sakarana karya adhyasana vritti, meaning that by self-knowledge, they remove ignorance as well as the products of ignorance, that is samsara. What's the nature of that knowledge? So what is born of ignorance is samsara. The knowledge dispels their ignorance. What is the nature of knowledge? So atma parijnanat. By the knowledge of the self. What's the nature of that knowledge? The next word tells us. Sarvamatmataya jñātam Jagat sthavara jangamam abhavat sarva bhavanam dehasya chatmata kutah. So what's the nature of knowledge? Sarvam atmataya jnatam. Jagat sthava jangamam. Sarvam sthava jangamam jagat atmataya jnatam. So what's in knowledge? Atma evedam sarvam. The knowledge is Atma alone is all this. Other Brahma evedam sarvam, all this is Brahman. Or better than that, the wise person knows Atma evedam sarvam. All this is indeed Atma. Atma eva idam sarvam. All this is only Atma, nothing else. So this is the meaning that the wise person sees Atma. The self everywhere, nothing is separate from Atma. All there is Atma, that I am alone, non-dual. So Upanishad tasmat sarvam abhavat. Brahma va idamagrasid tadatmanameva ved aham brahmasmiti tasmat tat sarvam abhavat. The Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, Brahma va idamagrasid. This aspirant who is sitting before the Guru was Brahman were beforehand. But before being told, while he is ignorant, then also is Brahman. Tadatmanameva. Then he, by great fortune, he came in contact with a great Guru who taught him, hey, you are not a samsari, you are Brahman. Then he came to know the true nature of the Atma. Aham Brahmasmiti Atmanamaved. He came to know that I am Brahman. So what happened? Tasmat tat sarvam bhavat. By virtue of the knowledge, he became everything. See how the Upanishad describes it? By virtue of the knowledge that I am Brahman, he became everything. How can he become everything? This little one becomes everything? Then what happens? He says, no. You are everything to begin with. Upon you superimpose the idea of I am not everything. I am only this much. So whereas Atma is everything, meaning that I am everything to begin with, upon I, the notion that I am only this much was superimposed, that notion born of ignorance goes, then the fact reveals I am everything. Atma alone is. Sarvam atmataya jnatam. So in the vision of the wise person, all there is the self. What? Jagat sthavara jangamam. Jagat, the entire creation. Sthavara jangamam. The moving and not moving, mobile and immobile, whatever there is in this creation. Sentient and insentient, all of this is seen as Atma. Seen in the mind's eye. Not that with these eyes sees Atma, So what happens, Swami? We think what happens to all this? All melts into Atma or something? With the eyes he sees the same thing. But we are also seeing Atma only. But it is the mind that interprets this Anatma. Nobody has seen Anatma. Nobody experienced Anatma. Neither wise nor otherwise. Because we experience what is. What is Atma? Conscious, that's all there is. So we cannot, there is no such entity as Anatma that we can experience. It is merely our interpretation of our experience that I am experiencing Anatma. You follow? Not that we experience Anatma. Not that we experience that I am limited. No. We experience only Atma and limitlessness. But what I experience is interpreted by me. So that interpretation goes and the right knowledge comes, that's all. So not that he has become all. One who is all recognizes that I am all. There is nothing other than me. All there is I. Then what happens? Abhavat sarabhavanam. Then no beings remain. So bhavanti di bhavaha. Those which come into existence are called bhava, means the things and beings, entities. All these names and forms are called bhava because they all come into being. So those things that come into being are called bhava, bhavanti di bhavani. The whole universe has come into being, therefore it is all things and beings. Now, abhavat sarabhavanam. In the perception of a wise person, nothing remains now. This is a little, risky thing to say. Sarabhavanam abhavat. In his perception, all sthavara jangamam, the mobile, immobile is all turned into Atma. Asusaram Atma evavat tat kena kampashet. Earlier also is given, for the wise, everything has become Atma. Again, there is no becoming. With knowledge, nothing becomes, understand. Knowledge simply reveals what is. So, just as light only reveals what is, light only dispels darkness and brings to light what is. So also knowledge simply dispels ignorance and reveals what is. So knowledge cannot change. If this was non-self, knowledge can't convert it into self. If the things are there, it cannot make it not there. What is not there is thought to be there. That's the thing. What is only Chinmayam, consciousness. Upon that we have superimposed the names and forms. So either you say in the person, a wise person, no names and forms remain, or you can say that names and forms have lost all reality. A child thought that in a mirror there was another child and the fellow. When he grows up, then he recognizes there is a reflection. Therefore, the other fellow has gone away. He still sees, but no more interprets that as someone different from me. So seeing with the eyes does not change. Eyes reveal what they reveal. Earlier it was the mind that interpreted them as anatma. Is mind that created a split between subject and object, atma and anatma, and branded this is anatma, branded the subject is only this much, and branded it as anatma. This branding goes away. Abhavat sarabhavana. All the beings and things have now lost their reality, meaning that they no more stand apart from the self or consciousness. There is nothing other than me. I am the subject. And the object can never be apart from subject because I cannot perceive you unless my consciousness is where you are. So consciousness must necessarily cover what is perceived, and thereby it covers everything. Nothing is apart from consciousness. There is nothing other than consciousness also. Thus, the non-self, there is no such thing left as non-self. You follow? Formerly there was a division of Atma and Anatma. In the vehicle of knowledge, when I realize what my dimension is, as long as I thought my dimension was only confined to this body, so long I thought everything is other than me. When I realized my true dimension, when this fellow, what is part space? Think that this part space is down, there are so many spaces, Alright? When this little thing recognizes that I'm part space, right? I'm space. Then nothing remains apart from that. It includes everything. And it's all there is. Even so-called part also is nothing but the product of space. So what remains in the perception of the space is that space. That being the case, because everything is product of consciousness. Nothing is apart from consciousness. Therefore, even though the eye with sense organs, the wise person perceives the names and forms, that the anatmatma is no more there. The branding by the mind that this is non-self, that is not there. This much alone is self, and that division that was created by the mind, no more is there. What remains is just undivided self. So abhava can be both ways. Abhava can be total absence, or in Vedantic sense, abhava can be the absence of reality. So tat kena kampashet. Who can see what? So wise person also sees in the vyavahara, but that otherness is not there. The otherness is superimposed by that you are other than me, that I am the one perceiving you is different from me. That otherness was projected, that no more remains. So it doesn't say that I am perceiving something different from I. Perception takes place. So similarly here also, the things are what they are. But they are no more real, no more anatma, No more Atma is confined to this. No more division of Atma and Atma. That being the case, Dehasya Atmata Kutaha. How can the body retain its Atmata, the selfness? When self is now all inclusive, how can the body retain its selfness? How can self be confined to this when it includes everything? Therefore, in the wake of the knowledge now, because of ignorance, the body was taken to be self. In wake of knowledge of my true dimension, that this little part space, it's true dimension, I'm all pervasive. Nobody is apart from me, all spaces are included in me. So also recognizes that I'm not just consciousness confined to this part. I'm the all-pervasive consciousness. It is not that the space is in the part. As long as space thought that I am in the part, so long it entertained complex, I am part space. Recognize that it's part that is in the space and not the space in the part. So I think that the consciousness is within. So whereas I always said, I did it, whatever. I always is pointed out. Like they always look up, it's God. So we all, I. Meaning that it is taken for granted that the consciousness is within the body. Just as space is within the part, consciousness within the body. Then whatever is outside the body becomes different from the I. But when the true dimension is recognized, when this space recognized, part space recognized, I am total space. This consciousness recognizes I am total consciousness. Then there is just as there is nothing apart from space, no part. Similarly also, so no enclosure apart from the space also, no being is apart from the self. Therefore, no more the self is confined to the body. Dehasya atmata kudaha. How can the body retain its selfness? Cannot. Because self is all pervasive. So the question is kudaha. This is a question. Where is the selfness for the body? It is not a question. It is negation, So sometimes you ask the question, how can it be? You don't have to answer that question. Means I am replying already, it cannot be. See, answer is contained in the question. So that is called akshepa. So this is not a question. Dehasya atmata kutaha. Then how can there be the selfness in the atma in the body? He's not asking question. He's saying that dehasya atmatana. That the body is no more atma. That is one section is over. Now says the next verse, Nanu jnanina nishprapancha atmataya mama kim syat. Sir, you describe the wise person. That wise person is what? Nishprapancha. His atma is free from prapancha. For an ignorant person, atma is part of prapancha. I'm this one atma, second atma, third atma, and I have subject all afflictions. So for ignorant person, atma is sab prapancha. With prapancha, with samsara. For wise person, atma is nishprapancha. No prapancha, no limitation, no afflictions. So jnanina nishprapanchat atmataya mama. So that is so what? What about me? What does it mean to me? You described a wise person saying that in the perception of a wise person all there is self. And therefore the body no more remains a selfness and therefore it's totally free. It's for him. What about me? What should I do about that? Ma kim syat brahmanya bhojane na anyastrupyadedi. So Brahmanas are fed. So what about me? Somebody else, if you feed him, he gets the contentment, satisfaction. But what about somebody else? If this is your question, then what should I do? This is what you said about the wise person. What does it mean to me? See, this should be our question all the time. With every verse and every discussion, this should be the question. The reason why these things disappears from our life is because we do not take time to connect it with ourselves. is one thing that there is a principle that Atma is everything. That body is not. That's all right. What does it mean to me? If you don't have that equation, then this remains someplace in the air. Atma is everything. You know? It must be all connected with I. So therefore this aspirant is all right. This is the vision of the wise man that you describe. What does it mean to me? What should I do? How can I make it my vision? I see that, oh, he is really tripta, he is completely contented, he is happy. But so I don't become happy because of his happiness. What should I do? All right. So when you ask this question, teacher becomes very happy. And so replies in the next verse. Atmanam satatam janan kalam nayamahadyute prarabdam akhilam bhunjan nodvegam kartum arhasi. So the student is addressed as Mahadyute. Oh, thou of great illumination, you know. Oh, Mahadyuti. Dyuti means light. Mahadyuti, one of great light of knowledge. Hey, you are really an enlightened person. Because you are going to be. Sometimes that's how the teachers also addressed, you know. Dhanyosi, Krutakrutyasi, Pavitam te kulam tvaya. Yadavigya bandha muktya brahmi bhavitamicchasi. So when an aspirant goes to a teacher and asks this question, what is the nature of the bondage? What's the nature of liberation? What's the nature of self? What's the nature of non-self? How do I separate self? Teacher is mighty pleased. Congratulates him. Dhanyasi krutakrutyosi. Hey, you are really dhanya. You are already fulfilled. You are most fortunate. Dhanya. Krutakrutya, you already fulfilled the purpose of your life. Not yet. But that you want to know this. So, yada vidya, bandha muktya, brahmi, bhavisumicchi, pavitam te, hey, you have already sanctified your own kulam, sanctified all your ancestors also. Not only you have sanctified yourself, but all your ancestors are sanctified. So they say, that when a person becomes wise, all of them get liberated, so they say. Pavitam te kulam tvaya. Why? Yada vidya bandhya muktya. Because you want to become free from the bondage of ignorance. Brahmi bhavitam ichchasi. That you want to become Brahman. Therefore that's the liberated. Bhavishyat vritya. So here also Mahadyute. Oh, thou of great illumination is going to take place. The fact that he has shown his anxiety as to what should I do? Meaning that he is very anxious to gain the same vision that the wise person has. Meaning that now he has expressed that this is the only agenda I have. And therefore, what should I do? No, this is a great commitment. That this person has the only agenda left in his life now is to gain knowledge. Now then you are pretty close. When no other agenda remains, nothing remains of any concern at all. Only thing that is of concern now is, how do I know? Moksha tivra ichcha, that burning desire that may I be liberated, may I gain the knowledge. Then you are not far from your goal. So that's why he's congratulated as though he's already attained the goal of Mahadyute. What should you do? Atmanam satadam janan kalam naya Mahadyute. May you spend your time in this manner. Atmanam satadam janan. Janan, knowing. Here, Vedanta Vakya Vicharayan. May you constantly contemplate upon the Atman. So what do you have to do now? Vedanta Vakyahi Vicharayan. May you constantly contemplate upon the nature of the self. Vichara, inquiry. May you constantly seek to inquire on the nature of the Atma. Satatam, that's a very important thing. Constantly, all the time. Asupti mruti paryantam. There is a statement which says, Asupte ramrute kalam nayed vedanta chintaya. Panchadashi says also, quotes this. Asupte amrute kalam nayed vedanta chintaya. What should I do? Asupte, from the time you wake up in the morning till you go to sleep, amrute, from the time you are born until you die, kalam nae, spend your time Vedanta chintaya, in contemplation upon Vedanta. So Vedanta vicharen asupti mritpa satatam, constantly. Meaning that, oh enlightened one, may this become the only agenda now for you. If knowledge is what you want, if what you heard about the wise person is what you want to make for yourself also, then that means that you are seeking knowledge. And what's the means of knowledge? Vichara is the means of knowledge. So what should I do? Vichara. Koham. But vichara means what? Constantly contemplate upon these statements of Vedanta. Shravanam. Vichara means Shravanam. May you listen to Vedanta from a teacher. Because while we are listening, in the mind, the contemplation or reflection upon the nature of the statement takes place. Vedanta Vakya Vicharayan Kalam Naya, you spend your time that way. Then what? During that time, what happens? You are living your life anyway. So even when you are contemplating on Vedanta, still you are living your life in eating and drinking and whatever little contact you would have. Suppose you go for bhiksha and then you ask for food, that will all take place. Meaning that you are still not completely cut off from your life because you are not still Brahman. You still have a sense of individuality and therefore you hunger, thirst, etc. So these basic needs are there and you have to interact with the world as far as fulfilling those needs is concerned. So world being what it is, then you will be treated in this way. When you go for bhiksha, then somebody is very happy to give you the food. Somebody says, hey Swami, what is it? You look a healthy person. Why do you beg food? Come on, go and work. Well, he says, okay, go work in my garden. Then I'll give you food. So, meaning that all this treatment is brought to you by your prarabdha. People are not treating you that. Vedanta says your own prarabdha makes them treat you in a certain way. Prarabdha is destiny. So, prakarshana arabdham, prarabdham. Of all the karmas that are in our store from the time beginningless, like all those fixed deposits which were for long term, a part of that deposit is now has matured. That you get. Rest is still there. Similarly, all the karmas that you accumulated are all there in long-term deposits. Of that, some part is now matured, which is in your hand, which has given rise to this birth. So, prarabdha does three things, as we said earlier. Jati ayuhu bhoga. Prarabdha destiny decides where you will be born. What kind of body will a human being, whatever jati, what species will be born and where you will be born, decided by prarabdha. Ayuhu, how long will you live? And bhoga, what will be your experiences? What situations will present themselves before you which you will have to experience? All of this determined by prarabdha or destiny. So let us know this. There are certain things we cannot control. These three things we cannot control. Where I will be born? Which parentage? I have no control. How long will I live? No control. And what will I experience? No control. Then how should you respond to an experience is in your control? But what you have to confront? No control on what you have to confront. How to confront? That you can decide. But what you have to confront is not in your choice, is created by your own karma. Meaning that even for this aspirant, this will happen. Hunger will be there, thirst will be there, sleep will be there, honor will be there, dishonor, heat will be there, cold will be there. All these things, pairs of opposites will be there. Our destiny will bring before us all these dvandva or pairs of opposites. Nobody is an exception. Therefore, prarabdham akhilam bhunjan. Bhunjan means bhog. So bhunjan, experiencing. So sukha dukkha bhoga, sukha dukkha sakshatkara. What is bhoga? Is experience of pleasure and pain. Experience of this duality or dvandva is called bhoga. So, O enlightened one, meaning O disciple, in Upanishad is a Somya, O good-looking one, O pleasing one. O pleasing one. Understand that you have no choice as far as prarabdha is concerned. Meaning that your destiny will create for you a variety of situations which you will have to go through. Go through them. How? Nodvegam kartumarasi. While going through variety of situations in life, an aspirant who is committed to pursuit of knowledge is instructed here. Udvegam na kartumarasi. It does not behove of you to be perturbed or disturbed or react with what is happening. As Lord Krishna says, Matras pashastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkhadaha agama payana nityaha tam stitikshasva bharata. Here Arjuna, whenever you will interact with the world, some experience will happen, which is sukha, happiness or unhappiness, pleasure or pain, heat or cold, honor or this will happen. Don't try to correct it. Don't try to change it. Don't retaliate. Don't react. Tam stitiksha, just put up with them. How? Agama payana. They come and go. What comes will go. So if pain comes, it will go. Don't worry. What comes? Let it come. What goes? Let it go. Don't try to stop something. Don't try to hold on to something. Unpleasant, I don't want. Pleasant, I want to hang on to. Now that whole life will go in that. That's what we are doing. Our life is nothing but avoiding the unpleasant and holding on to the pleasant. One life, you can exhaust the whole life without accomplishing this. So don't worry. It is nature unpleasant, that come, let it come. And that means, Swami, you have to go put up with it. It will go. What comes has to go. Therefore, don't waste your meaning that let them not attract your attention. Let them not distract you. If you try to correct them and if you try to change them, that means that all your energy will go away in that. And you will not do what you need to do. What you need to do is what? Contemplate upon Vedanta. So don't let these things distract you. And mind gets distracted the moment we react. Either you brand this as pleasant or unpleasant, desirable, undesirable, I want it, don't want it, moment raga dveshas are there, the mind will be distracted. Therefore, do not allow your raga dveshas to control you. Put up with them. And thus, that's a great thing. So, udvegam kartuna na arhasi. It does not, as a seeker of knowledge, it is not right, it does not behove of you to react to what is happening around you. Let them happen and you remain focused on what you need to do. Do not allow them to distract you. So this is advice, instruction given to the person who wants to become wise, So he heard, what should I do? Then do this. What you should do? Continue vichara. At the same time, be indifferent to whatever comes and goes. Indifferent, upeksha. Upeksha means indifferent. So neither raga nor dvesha, upeksha. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate मुच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।